Hi, Carl. So I just had to make a few adjustments. I've had to share the link to my normal Facebook, so anyone on my normal Facebook will have to click on the link in order to get into the event. So I'll just wait for a few more to come on.
Where'd you get your hoodie from, Gaz? It's not a hoodie, it's just a t-shirt over a hoodie. Oh, is it? But my son had it all done for
I'll
me.
just wait for you all. Hi, Jenna.
It's everything, isn't it? Yeah.
Just going to move my phone up a little bit more because I can't see. That's it. Carl can't see, still can't share. No, I know, it's because it's a private event and I can't work out how to bloody change it. So that's alright, I'll have to sort it out after. The link's on my normal Facebook. But obviously, if anyone's got any questions as well, right, Leslie, hi Leslie, hi Claire. Right, there's a few on. So, hi guys. Gary.
Hiya.
The lovely Gary Reynolds. So he's here to talk about astrology. All is Atum. We like to say that?
Yeah, go for it.
Yeah?
Go for it.
So,
yeah, that's fine, I'll get to that in a minute.
I'll see how many are on. I might give it just a couple more minutes before you start.
That's fine.
And you can introduce what you're going to talk about, whatever.
I'm going to talk about the word light, because light is everything. The word astro means light. The word ology means the word. So it's the word of light. When you have astronomy, astronomy means the written word of light. Yeah? So I'm going to go through that. I will go through the path of the sun, which is on the ecliptic, on the sidal sonal wave, the sin of Eve. This is the path that the sun takes on a daily basis, and its journey around its constellations, and how all this works. So if you want me to carry on now, I'll carry on.
Yeah, we've got 10 on.
That'll do, I'll carry on.
I think there was about 27 that said, but I'm sure they'll jump on. Hi guys.
These are the two keys to all knowledge. Once you understand this, you'll understand most things. Yeah? So the sun starts its journey here in Aries. Aries is a cardinal point, as you can see on there and on the cross. There's Aries. This is a cardinal point. Aries is a fire sign, so this becomes a cardinal point of fire. Next we have Taurus. Taurus, the bull. The bull ploughs the field. This is why it's an earth sign. This is fixed. In other words, the season is fixed at this point. This is the cardinal point, the fixed point, and then it will mutate, as you can see, mutable, and it will mutate into Gemini, which is the air sign, which is mutable. We then move over to Cancer, which is a water sign, which is a cardinal point. Then we go into Leo, which is a fixed sign, because the summer is fixed in Leo. Then we move on to Virgo. Virgo's an earth sign. The reason why it's an earth sign is because this is when the harvest is ready. We plant here, we harvest here. It's a mutable sign because it's going to be mutating into another cardinal sign, which is Libra, which is an air sign. As the sun moves round, it becomes into another fixed position, which is Scorpio. Scorpio's a water sign. From there, it becomes mutable because it's going to change into Capricorn, which is winter, which is the night, as you can see, 12 p.m. on the 12th of December. The day mimics the year. So what goes on here goes on all year round. Each planet has certain rulers. I'll only go through a couple without going through them all. So you have Mercury in Virgo. You have Mars in Aries. Mars is always in a hurry. If you look at me, my hands are always forward. I'm always in a hurry. Yeah, because I'm actually the lamb or the ram, and I want to climb the hill to get to summer. Capricorn is the goat. The goat wants to climb the hill to get to spring. And this continues. This is 6 a.m, 12 p.m, 6 p.m, 12 a.m. The sun starts his journey here. He's known as Horus. Horus means to arise, Horus. Because he arises in Aries. Aries is also to arise. Yeah? And it right ascends. R-A-M. Right ascension meridian. So if you watch the sun every morning, comes up in Aries and it right ascends. You can see this for yourself. That's why it's the ram. All these signs are within us. Yeah, each constellation is within us. At the top of the head here, we have what you call the cerebrum, just under the fontanelle, the ram. Aries is at the head. And then you have Taurus, the Taurus bull. Yeah, as I said, you plant the seed in Taurus. So this is Taurus the bull. Not in cerebellum, in the... I was going well there, wouldn't I?
Right.
I'll get there in a second and I'll tell you. Sorry, I should know this. Cerebellum, bull, bellum. Yeah? Here are the twins. Twin lungs. Twin hands. This is Gemini. Cancer's in the chest. Leo the lion heart. The pulse, longitudinal energy. Yeah? So this is Leo. Excuse me, sorry. Don't need those for a second. Virgo is in the belly. This is why Buddha rubs his belly. Because the harvest is ready in Virgo. This is Buddha. Here is Libra. The scales. Because they're in perfect balance. Aries, Libra. Where we get to? We now move on to Scorpio. Scorpio is the genital area. Yeah? Down here can do a lot of damage. This is where we keep our sexual emotions. If you look at Scorpio, Scorpio is a scorpion. The tail represents a penis. And as you women know, a penis can cause a lot of damage. Yeah? So that's a good way to explain that one. Sagittarius is the hips. Hippo. Hippo means horse. The hippo. That's why Sagittarius is the horse. Here we move on to Capricorn, which are the kneecaps. Capricorn. Then we move into Aquarius. Aquarius are the shins. When a woman is at a certain age or pregnant, she will get water retention in the top of her feet. Because Aquarius is the water bearer. Then last but not least are Pisces, the fishermen of men, time of Jesus, which are the 2 feet. The 2 feet move like this if you like to do that with your feet. I won't get my feet that high. So that's basically that part. There's lots of other stories to tell you on here. You have the hot cross buns, because spring, the sun is moving over. These are called apocalypses. Apocalypse means to reveal, to open. Yeah? Because each season, there are 12 seasons, not 4, because this is why they become cardinal, fixed, and mutable. So the one cardinal point here in Cancer, it's starting to get warm to head into top summer, which is a fixed Leo. Yeah? So this is all to open, like all open. Also here, you have the 4 horsemen of the apocalypse. Also here, you have the 4 Gospels. Matthew, Mark, Luke and John. It's all astrotheology. What else can I tell you about here? Let's go into Scorpio. a little bit of history for you, or his story. Who in history made themselves Jesus Christ? Well, it was actually Julius Caesar, JC. Julius Caesar gets betrayed by Brutus. Jesus gets betrayed by Judas. It's all in the words. What else can I tell you about it? There's so much more I can tell you, but I've got lots more to present. I'm only going to scratch the surface. If you wish to know more about this part, please visit Santos Bonacci, and he will give you it in great detail. As the sun goes across the ecliptic, this is the northern hemisphere and the southern hemisphere. Day, night, good, bad, the warring brothers, Cain and Abel, good and evil, night and day, summer, winter. As the sun moves across the equinox. What I'd like to show you now, if Tracy can get it up on the big screen, is a picture of the Last Supper.
You want the Last Supper?
And I'll show you the movement of the sun. Oh. Mama. I don't know if you can see this map down here. Can you see the map down there, Tracy?
Yeah, I can just do some adjusting.
There you go. You can see the map.
Hang on,
we'll get here. Limited for space.
I'm no expert at this camera stuff. That's it. Can everyone see that all right? As best as possible. Yep.
This is a map from 1666 by Frederick de Witt. What it shows you is the sinusoidal wave, the snake in the Garden of Eden. Because this is the Garden of Eden. The Garden of Eden is in your head, saying where heaven is. Heaven means to heave up. So we start the day in Aries, we start the year in Aries at the spring equinox. And the sun moves from the northern to the southern hemisphere, which went with the picture down there. We now have the Last Supper. Leonardo da Vinci was spot on with this, and he's telling you this is why they're all sitting one side of the table. Who would have a dinner party where you all sat one side of the table? What it is showing you is the path of the ecliptic, which is the sinusoidal wave, the snake in the garden. At the head of the table, you'll see Aries, because Aries is at the head. As you can see, he's got his hands on the table. He's at the head of the table. If you look along here, the man with his two hands up, well, he's telling you, I'm Gemini. If you look here, if you can see it, it's not that clear. This is Cancer. Cancer's the crab, the back stabber. He's also known as the scarab in Egypt because a crab walks sideways. So the sun is moving sideways back into Libra. As you can see Cancer there, he's pointing at Venus's throat. So what he's trying to tell you is, look, she's the only female. She doesn't have an Adam's apple. I don't know how clear this picture is to you, but in his other hand, he's got a knife. Because Cancer is the back stabber. There's Venus, obviously. Jesus is the sun, S-O-N, S-U-N, same word. The light of the world. Jesus, Jesus. Who we got here? We got Scorpio here. As you can see, he's raising a finger. He's showing you. Yeah, he's showing you his sting. You got Libra here. You can see the hands out, the scales. Sagittarius, and so on until you get to Capricorn on the end. This repeats every day, and it repeats every year, as I showed on there. when you mention the word astrotheology, people automatically think the stars, the moon, the sun. It's everything, because everything is light. I'm going to pause for a bit because I want to go on to the atom now and explain the atom and the alphabet. So everything is Atum, and I'll explain that bit in a second. So I might need that board to rub it.
That board back up there.
Yeah, we'll rub this
I'm
one
battling
out.
with these rats.
Yeah, a dog. I hope some of that made sense. I can't see if there's any questions.
I'll have a look, see if has anyone got any questions.
On the painting, there's all sitting in groups of three, like on
Oh yes, good point, Jason. Thank you very much indeed. There's a reason why they're all in sets of three, because you have
Oh yeah.
each constellation is 30 degrees. So each constellation sits in a 30-degree band by 18 degrees. Yeah. So you've got three on each side. So there's spring, summer, autumn, winter. And the sun, Jesus, passes through these on a daily basis and a yearly basis. So it's all basically the same.
Angela's put on here, Taurus comes after Aries.
Yes, Taurus does.
Thanks, Stephen.
Yeah, Taurus has to.
And Jesus is the sun.
And Jesus is the Son.
Yeah.
S-O-N, S-U-N. And I'll explain this. This is called radicals, where all letters are divisible and splittable, and how all the alphabet means light. So once I can clear that board off, I can start again. I haven't gone too much into the ecliptic and all the events that happen. Obviously you have Easter, so on and so forth. If you know any of your Bible studies, it's all on here. Do we have a cloth to...
Yep, I'll just grab a cloth.
Sorry about the unorganisation, it's all Jason's fault. You've got to blame someone. So why not blame the loveliest man?
No, I'll take the blame if it keeps the peace. That's it.
Yeah, hon.
You'll be married, ain't you?
Do you want this off?
Yes, please. Thank you. Hope that all kind of made sense. This is what's been hidden from us for years. They don't want us to know this.
Right.
So now we're going to talk about light and the atom. I don't know if we can get an atom up on the screen, or could you draw a perfect atom? See what we get. If not, there's one on my phone, but I don't know how you'll get it onto your screen.
Will that be alright?
Oh, wow.
Not the one I really wanted. Well, I can use it, but I wanted it more basic than that. There's nothing showing the plane. No. I can go through this, but I want to make it as easy as possible.
Do you want to draw it then? Oh.
No. Right. Hang on a second. Please excuse us.
All this technology.
Yeah, and I don't know how it all works. I'm pretty useless at this kind of stuff. No, they won't switch on. I don't want that.
If you get a picture up, I can draw it.
Yeah. Okay, no worries. Not that. Yes, it was that. Oh, go away. Right, stop panicking, Gary.
Don't panic.
Don't panic, Mr.
I'm
Mannering.
sure everyone's fine.
Well, I'm not.
Oh, I'll speak for myself.
I'm definitely
Pressure,
not.
you're under pressure.
I'm definitely not fine. There we go. It's going to be above it. You don't have to do it in that kind of detail.
Oh.
Or you can show the camera that. Entirely up to you. Make it bigger if you wish.
Can everyone see that? Yeah.
I've got to try and explain it.
So that's the atom. That's a picture of the atom.
Right.
Can I put that there?
Yeah.
People have seen it up close.
As long as people can see it.
So if everyone can see that.
Then I can explain.
Sorry, it's not very big.
The red shift and blue shift.
Red shift, blue shift.
Unless you can draw an hourglass for me. If you can draw me an hourglass, yeah, then blue circle that way, red circle that way, half circles.
What, as in one of these?
So it's reciprocating, yeah. So you want an hourglass.
Like that?
Yeah, that's good. I like that. Oh, that's clever.
Do you want me to do the disc?
Yeah, I want you to line through it. You don't have to
What,
do the
just
disc.
direct, yeah, like
just
that?
put a line straight through.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Is that right?
yeah. Then from here, so you're drawing the eyes of an owl. Draw me an owl.
What, here?
No, so you put the eyes. There's one eye. There's the other eye of the owl.
What, just go round like that?
Yeah. So it comes. Sorry. So it comes from the middle, around, back into the middle.
Oh, right,
the
got
middle.
ya.
So one blue. Sorry, one
So
blue.
like that.
Yeah.
And then
then
like that.
Yeah, near enough.
Yeah?
Yeah. There you've got an apple core.
Yeah, your apple core.
You've got an apple core. If you go and cut an apple in half, you'll see a perfect torus field.
If he'd said that, I could have just drawn an apple.
You could have just drawn an apple. Yeah, sorry.
We got there.
What happens here? You have. Let me explain this. Any old pen would do.
Is it bright enough for
Red
you?
one.
Do you want the big light on, Gary?
Yes, please.
As God said, let there be light.
That's better. And have we got a blue one? We've got
We've
a
got
blue
blue.
one. Blue there.
That's what I see, Gary.
And a apple. Sorry. Right. So here we have a neutron, proton, electron. Yeah? We have the dialectic, and I'll explain these words in a minute. We have the dialectic, we have magnetism, and we have electricity. This is where you see the word L, as in elephant, the Elohim, means electric. You'll see this.
As you said electric then, all the lights flickered.
They did, didn't they? You'll see this in a lot of words.
No.
All words come back to this word.
It's weird. There you go.
And the reason why they come back to that word is because you have an anatomy. Yeah? Your body has a torso, which is a torus field, as you can see here. Blue shift, red shift. Boy, girl, hot, cold. The other way round, sorry. Hot, cold, boy, girl. Republicans, Democrats, Labour, Conservative, blue siren, red siren. Everything is blue and red shift because this is what the Taurus bulls do. They also babble. This is why you get the Bible.
Old as eels, isn't it?
Because the Bible, bi means two, the two bulls. The Bible, the two Taurus bulls, because this is what the Bible is telling us. If I do the alphabet, excuse my writing, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M,
N-O-P.
N, O, P, Q, U,
Q-R-S.
sorry, R, S, T,
U-V.
U-V, sorry,
W, X,
U-V,
Y, Z.
W, X, Y, and Z. Within it, sorry, the state of it, but in here is all light. In here you'll also see L-U-M,
Lumen.
which is lumen. Lumen is light. Here you see Christos, which is basically light, the Christos.
Sorry.
First part of the alphabet is abracadabra, meaning I speak, I reveal, which I speak. So they're all there. These letters are interchangeable and divisible. The only letter that is not divisible is the letter A, because the A is the Trinity, the Father, the Son, the Holy Spirit, Brahma, Vishnu, Shiva, Horus, Osiris, Isis. I can go on and on and on. It's all a Trinity. So the A is undivisible. It's unsplittable. So in Hebrew, the T and the D are interchangeable. This is how we get Adam. Adam in the garden. Yeah? Adam is also a madam. Can you see how the words change? A Yob is a boy, because a boy's a Yob. So you can see how all letters are divisible and interchangeable. Yeah?
Yob is boy backwards.
It's all about energy, frequency and vibration. If you say the letter D, as I said, a D and a T are interchangeable. So if you make the sound of the letter D, look where your tongue goes. It goes to the roof of your mouth. Same with the letter T. You will make the same movement in your mouth. So these are interchangeable. The F and the V are interchangeable. When you say the letter F, you'll see your teeth will touch your bottom lip. When you say the letter V, it will do the self same thing. So always look at words, because if the world was created through the word, then words are everything. Words are entrapment. All we need is an S. Turns it into swords. Words like swords can be very cutting. Yeah? So you can see how these words work. Everywhere around you, you will see words. Just dissect them. Make anagrams of them. Yeah? But one thing you can't do is split that. It's one thing that can't be done. So I'll leave that part with the alphabet. And I'll go on to the atom. I'll drop something there. Everything comes from the dialectic. Die.
D-I-A-L-E-C-T.
Right, everything comes from, let's say, blackness, stillness and rest. I'm not a very good speller, by the way.
Do you want me to write it?
You can write it, please, Tracy. Yeah, go on. Because I'll be here all day and it'll be scruffy. Never went to school, you see. Right, there you have the dialectic. The dialectic is stillness and rest, blackness. Because if you remove the letter B, don't have to do that. If you remove the letter B from the word black, you get the word lack. Lack of any vibratory energy, blue shift, vibratory. Lack of pulse wave, or not a pulse wave, but a pulse longitudinal. The word magnetism means to move. Mag means to move. So it moves longitudinally. Yeah? All from this point here, the point of energy, from stillness and rest, does everything come. From magnetism, which is moving longitudinally, creates a hybrid. The hybrid is electricity. And what I'll go on to now is I'll do the two yin and the yangs, and it will explain.
Do we talk about the reciprocation? Or
yeah, you can talk about the reciprocation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's doing this and this at the same time.
Centrifugal, centripetal.
And to anyone that's just joined, this is an atom. This is all is atom.
Comes from the word bull, B-L-L, as in the Bible. Because the Taurus bulls, they ramble and they babble at the Tower of Babel. It's all in the words. God never confused the languages at the Tower of Babel. He fused them together. And I won't go into that part of it because that will take ages. But that's basically it, and I'll go on to the yin and yang.
Brilliant.
Describe how the dialectic and magnetism, who magnetism is, what magnetism is, and what characters do that, and show them this board here.
Do you want me to draw the yin and the yang?
Yeah, if you can do me a yin and yang, so I'll have one black, one white, one blue, one red. If you know what I mean. It's in my book there if you want to have a look. And then I can fill in the other bits.
You want one red and blue, basically, yeah? No, black. Sorry.
Yeah.
Where's the black pen?
I don't know. Sorry, did I?
I've got it in my hand.
You've got it in your hand. Typical woman. Because everything was all right in the garden until Eve came along. That's good, isn't it? One bit black. Black.
Yeah.
And then the other one here, which will be red and blue. I can't draw. I'm absolutely useless with these tools. Give me a guitar pick, I'm all right. That's it. Could you do another? Could you do another line around there?
Yeah, sure.
So you get two S's in. Doesn't have to be thick. That's it. Beauty. One red, one blue.
Yeah, I've got red and blue. Yeah, that's it.
Oh, that's it.
Which side red?
Blue,
no,
blue,
red.
yeah,
Yeah,
blue.
red.
Well, blue and
Blue
red.
red, because the electric.
Blue at the top.
Like Debbie McGee.
Yeah, my assistant. She didn't 12.
I didn't pop out of a box.
And one thing I didn't do at the end, at the beginning of this, which was very rude of me, I didn't thank Tracy for this event.
Oh no, thank you. Honestly,
thank you.
thank you for doing it. It's amazing. Is that all right?
Yeah, that's wonderful. That's wonderful. Right. Just move that up there, getting in a bit of a mess. Oh, I don't know what that is, but we'll put it down there for a minute.
Don't worry.
Sorry, Trace. I didn't prepare for this today. I should have done, and I don't want to do it all basically off the top of my head. So I'm just going to check my notes, make sure I've got everything correct. As you can see, we've got the black, stillness and rest, the dialectic. Yeah. Here we have magnetism. This is a monad, which is mono. This side is magnetism, pure white light. Mary Magdalene, magnanimous, magic. Anything that's M-A-G means magnetism. In the Hindu, this is Krishna. This is his consort called Radharani. And they have a child. And that child is a hybrid. That hybrid is electricity. As you can see, magnetism moving through. This creates this. What else is on here? This will be the dyad. And, I'll spell it like that. What else we got? This will be digital. This will be analog. I'll spell it like that. As I say, this is the pulse wave energy. Moves like this. Boom, boom, boom. I will show you this in real time. I just need a big bowl of water when Tracy's ready. And you're going to have to be very quick with your eyes. So pay attention, and what you'll see is magnetism at work. If you look at a knot in a piece of wood, you get this effect. Yeah? So have a look at your kitchen floor or any piece of wood. Because everything starts from stillness and rest. The black lines here is your stillness and rest, your dialectic. The white parts here is magnetism, which means to move. And it moves that way, which then creates a vibratory energy that goes that way. So this is going like that. This is going like that. And that's how everything you see, this candle, this mantelpiece, this piece of paper, this book, and even the little dog that Trace is holding in her arms. Because everything comes from this word, astro. Ology, as I said, is the word. So it's the word of light for what all this is. I don't know if Tracy can get me a bowl of water and we can see if
Oh, that's brilliant, that is. That's how you explain it to me.
Once you see this, it will make more sense.
I will get you
Um,
a bowl of water.
As I was saying earlier about all the constellations in our body, you know, Gemini, the cerebrum, which is Aries at the head of the table. You also have 7 chakras. The planets are also in your body. Mars is here. Mars is in the groin because this is where we have all our emotions. Moon. The moon is in the lower chakra, the groin chakra, because the moon controls all our emotions. It then goes Mercury, Venus, Mars, Jupiter, and Saturn. Saturn is here, the highest form of light. Old Father Time. He starts his journey here in Libra, because this is where he exalts. This is where he lives. The reason why he's called Old Father Time is because Saturn's orbit is longer than any of the other planets. He's also known as the Great Inhibitor. The reason why, he controls winter. Yeah? And in winter, he inhibits things to grow. Things die. So here then, you get birth, growth, and decay. And that's exactly what happens every day and every night. We look at the sun and we look at the moon. Not very good at drawing, but we all know they're the same size and they're not that far away. We'll look at the moon first. The moon's energy. We all know now that the sun does not light up the moon. It's self-illuminating. You can see this within the first quarter. And when the moon is waxing and it's waning. The moon is septic. It's putrid. And you can see this if you put an apple out tonight on a clear night with the moon's rays, you'll see the apple deteriorating. It will increase the combustion of a bonfire because of its energy and how it is. Animals act different at night, so do plants.
You ready for this water?
And it's cold and it's silver. Where the moon is golden and warm, antiseptic, and will decrease the combustion of a bonfire because of its energy and its rays. There's a few more things I could mention here.
Are you going to talk about perturbation?
Yeah, I'll talk about perturbation and the sun.
And the sun, that's a good one. That. Do you want this bowl of water?
Yeah, I'll have the bowl of water, and then I'll show people how magnetism moves longitudinally, and what you will see is this effect. Because the magnetism is going longitudinally. I'm just waiting for this bowl of water, and then I can demonstrate it in real time. But you're going to have to be quick, because it happens fast. If you can record it, do so and then play it back in slow motion, and you'll see it working in action. A tree itself, you know, a tree, I'm not very good at drawing trees, but a tree itself is actually an atom.
Debbie's here.
Oh, Debbie McGee's here. Right.
Do you want me to hold it?
Yeah.
I don't know if they can see this. Actually, you hold it.
I'll
there,
hold it then, go on then.
and then I'll tilt the phone so that people
Yeah,
can.
but then I don't have a,
Drop something in it.
I don't have a finger.
No, but then I can. What I'll do is get the angle right,
Right,
and then move it down a bit. That's it.
I'll tell you what,
Between us.
let Jason hold it, but the water must be still.
I'm dog
Right.
sitting.
Oh no, they're sorry.
Right.
You're right with them.
If you can see that water,
Yeah, perfect. It might turn the light on actually because it.
if you can pay attention, as I said, everything comes from stillness and water, stillness and rest. The water is still. Are we ready? Can we do this, Trace?
Yeah, I reckon we can.
Right. If you watch it, I will create a disturbance in the stillness and rest. Did you see that? I'll do it again.
There are. So the ripples going out. You can see that.
Yeah, so there's ripples and there's gaps within the ripples. The gap is the dialectic, which is the stillness and rest. The magnetism, sorry, the other way around. The black rings is the stillness and rest, as I've just shown on the water. The white is the magnetism that is moving along. Which is then creating the hybrid of electricity. Red shift, blue shift, centrifugal, centripetal. Doing this, rambling and babbling. As I go back to a tree, yeah, as I said, all words come back to this word. Oh, sorry, this word. As I said, in Hebrew, it's Adam. Yeah. This word in Egyptian is Atum. This word in Greek is Donai. This is why most men, Greek men, are called Dennis. Donai, Dennis.
Yeah, Adonis. Yes.
Adonis.
Yes.
Adonis.
Adonis.
Yeah, it's the same word as that. From that you have
Didn't know that.
atomy. All is Atum. The cross, all is Atum. Here is Tammuz. Here is St. Thomas's Day. Tammuz is a celebration by the Jews. It's called Tammuz. So when the sun is here, he has a twin here. That twin is called Thomas. Thomas Didymus. He is the twin. Do make the mess here, right? Go back to the tree, or the terribly drawn tree. A tree is, in Spanish, is an árbol. It's an árbol. You have a torrunk and you have a torre. That's exactly what the tree is. You can see that every day when you look out. It's that part of the... Yeah, look at that. It's a part of the...
What do you want me to draw? The tree?
No, the hyperbola, basically, whatever it is, in the middle. The hourglass. As I said, I'm not very good at this. It's the hourglass, yeah?
I'm still ready.
Yeah, if you wish. So we get an hourglass in the middle, which is called the hyperbola.
Something like that.
Yeah. When you inverse this, when you've got the red shift and the blue shift, you invert this, you get a donut.
Homer Simpson.
Homer Simpson. This is a hypertrochoid. It's called a hypertrochoid. Yeah? You'll see Homer Simpson carry one around. Why does he carry one around? Not because he's greedy. He's telling you. It's the hypertrochoid, which is an inverse torus field. This is in everything. Everything is atoms, because all it comes back to this word.
I think that's what people need to really know what today is about. That it is all about.
It's all
is a
about.
term. Everything
Comes from the atom.
Yeah.
All is atom. Which all is atom is light. It's astro. It's light. Because everything comes from light, from the electricity. The pulse wave energy, pure white light. As I said, Mary Magdalene. She's doing this, which is then creating the hybrid of electricity, red and blue shift. There's lots more I can go on, but I don't know what else to say, to be honest. Let me have a... We can see it here. Yeah, the torus ball here. And what I'll do is I'll go through each of the chakras. Each of the chakras has a certain amount of petals. 4, 6, 10, 12, 16, 96, 1000. When you add up all the petals, they come to 144,000, which is the 144,000 that stand on the top of Mount Sinai, which is in the head, singing a different tune. And we're going through this right at this moment. Yeah? If you could see behind the sun at 6 o'clock in the morning, you will see the constellation of Aquarius. Aquarius is the water bearer. The motto of Aquarius is all knowing. And this is what we're getting now.
Can I say something quickly?
Please do, please.
So, the 144,000 strands of DNA.
64.
Right.
So let's have a look at this then, as Tracy's just mentioned it. As you can see, we've got the checkerboard floor. People go, oh, that's Masonic. That's evil, that's nasty, that's in the lodges, in the Freemasons lodges. No, it's telling you, black and white. The dialectic and the magnetism. Mm-hmm. You'll also see this on a chessboard. Black and white squares. There's 64 of them. You have 64 strands of DNA. It's telling you the story. Mm-hmm. As I said, all the planets, the 7 visible planets, Snow White is the sun, and the 7 visible planets are the 7 dwarfs. A lot of all our old nursery rhymes and stories and myths are all about what I showed you in the beginning with the sun moving around the constellation. Noah and his ark. Yeah? Noah and his ark. Jack and Jill. There's a good one. We all know Jack and Jill. Jack and Jill climb the hill to fetch a pail of water. Well, what hill and what pail of water? They climb the hill from winter to summer. Cancer is a water sign. So that's the bucket of water. Jill is the moon. Jack is the sun. Jack falls down and breaks his crown. Now, why does he break his crown in Libra? Because this is where Kronos exalts. This is where Saturn exalts. Kronos, old father time, who takes Jesus' crown. And then Jesus continues on his journey. As I said, S-O-N, S-U-N, same word, radicals, the change. Mm-hmm. You also have God. Let's have a look at God. Depending on your culture, where you come from, you've got God. Good. Gid. All the vowels. Yeah? As I say, everything's about electromagnetism. So we're looking at electromagnetism. Your brain is an electronic computer. You have synapses that spark for every thought, every word you say. Your body is an electrical organism. Your blood is liquefied electricity called plasma. And this is what the ancients called God.
So he's within us.
So God's within us. He's omnipotent. He's
The creator.
omnipresent.
The creator.
He's the creator. There's your creator that creates this. So from this, when these two become abrasive, black light, white light, it creates the vibratory energy that creates that. You'll see this symbolism on a Pepsi Cola can, and you'll also see it in the Korean flag if you take a look. So they're telling you in your face that it's all astro. Right, what else can I say about this?
Is everyone getting this? Kind of. Why? I've got a question down there, but I can't see it.
If you've got a question, please.
Right, hang on. Let me just read some
If
questions.
I can answer it, I shall.
I'm so enjoying this. Oh, that's good. Yep, yep. Looks like the Taurus field. Oh.
Thank you, Jim.
Oh, who put a question up? Because I can't. The questions have disappeared.
No worries. If there's any on there.
Someone just... Right, have you got any more questions? Can you pop them up? Guys? Just pop up a question if you've got it.
You'll also see the Taurus field on the owl. This is why the owl is so prominent. Can you see the Taurus field on the owl? Yeah?
So this.
This is why they use the owl at Bohemian Grove. If you never heard of Bohemian Grove, please research it. This is why on churches you'll see a lot of statues of owls. Because the church is telling you. If you read the stained glass windows, it tells you the path of the sun through the constellations. Count the constellations on the window. It's all there. There you can see it there, as I showed you before on the map. And there's all the constellations. As the sun travels on the sinusoidal wave.
Which is the ecliptic.
Which is called...
Which is the wave that we put up.
Which
on
is
the
the
board
wave,
at
yeah.
the start, yeah.
But you've got to remember, waves are not a thing. Waves are something that something does. Because everything comes from stillness and rest. So if you go down to the beach and you've got the waves and they're lapping at your feet, they're not actually moving. They're just doing this. Big wave, trampoline. Big wave, trampoline. Every sine wave starts in Aries and ends in Pisces. Pisces being the fishermen and men. So let's look at that. If you go back roughly 2012, if you could see behind the sun at 6 o'clock in the morning, you would have seen the constellation of Pisces. Pisces is a water sign. This is why the Christian sign is
a fish.
A fish. This is what fish live in. What the fish live in? Well, they live in schools. This is why you send your children to school. Not only that, why do you call your children kids? Because Saturn is the goat that climbs the hill of winter. You'll see this in the prediction of Baphomet, the devil. Research it. And you will see it there. Half goat, half man, half woman. As you can see on this picture here, they've got holes in their heart. Or holes there. Where the pulse, where your heart is for the pulse energy. My theory on this picture is, as Jesus said, you have to go through your heart to ascend. What I'd like to talk about now is what they call the Christos. Jesus and Christ are two separate things, but still as one. There's no duality in nature. There is no separation. Nature is so simple, it's not complex at all. Where was I?
The heart.
The heart. So basically you have to go through here. Now let me explain. Here you have the pineal gland. The pineal gland leaks diamethylene triptyline. In other words, it leaks Let's get rid of this. It leaks.
I've got a question quick. Is that going to interrupt you?
DMT. No, go for it.
I asked why Aquarius is an air sign when it's classed as a water bearer.
I haven't got an answer for that. But leave it with me, and by the end of this presentation I'll figure it out, and if I haven't I will figure it out and get straight back to you.
All right, perfect.
There's probably a very simple answer for it, but at this moment it's not coming here. Alright, from the pineal gland leaks a thing called dimethyl triptyline. On this side of the brain you have the pituitary gland that leaks serotonin. Through good living, good health, white tantra sex, not black tantra, not all this smack my bum and call me Susan, all good stuff. Make love. Yeah? Through all this good living, good eating, no overindulgence, you will leak the DMT and the serotonin. This then leaks, goes down the medulla oblongata, which is this part, down Mount Meru, the tree of life, Jacob's ladder. It doesn't matter what you call it. Yeah? Nature doesn't give a shit. This goes then into the perineum. And with the perineum, with good living, you raise that Christ, the oil, the Christos, the Lord, the lard. You raise this oil back to source. As you raise this back to source, you smash each of the petals. Once all the petals have been smashed, the 144,000 is when you stand on Mount Sinai singing a whole different tune. And a lot of people are raising their oil, their Christ. You do this through knowledge and better eating, better drinking, no indulgences, to not overindulgences. And you will raise this.
So gluttony.
No gluttony. Yeah, no gluttony. Good word. No gluttony. Just live a good life, be peaceful, be happy and be lovable, because love is light. Yeah, I've kept this as simple as I possibly could keep it. It could be a lot more technical, but there we go. Once you smash all the chakras, as I say, and you go to Mount Sinai at the top of the head, this is when enlightenment occurs. Number 33 is not an evil word. It's a number. It's a wonderful number. Yeah? In fact, on my birthday, I was born on the spring equinox. I was born on the 23rd of the 3rd, 63. All my numbers are 33. In Aries is what you call the Lamb of God. This is why the ancients, in the morning, 6 o'clock in the morning, they would hold their palms up to the sun. If you do an anagram of palm, you get the word lamb. This is why you hold your palms up to the sun. It's all in the word. Because the lamb, which is the sun, is the lamp. Same word. The P and the B are interchangeable. So once you understand the radicals of how letters work, everything becomes so much more simple. What else can I explain on here? That's about it really. As you can see, you'll have the sun, you'll have the moon. The sun is actually an hermaphrodite, believe it or not. It's male and it is female. It's got a very masculine energy and very masculine vibration. But it's also mum, because it gives birth, it gives life. As I said, everything comes from stillness and rest. So if you took an apple seed, it's at rest. Add water, add soil, it starts to grow. So that's basically that part. And you said something, you wanted me to talk about something. You said something else. Sorry.
Can't remember.
I'm pretty lost now. There is loads more. It's just me thinking about it. I'm sorry I didn't prepare for any of this.
I've written what my word I've written. Yeah, I wanted to
Oh,
talk.
bow. Yes.
Yeah, I wanted you to talk about that because that's interesting.
You have the beautiful God bow. Don't forget, they've inverted everything. So you know the moonwalk backwards. This is all to do with Aleister Crowley, a bad Satanist at that. Please research him.
What was his name again?
Aleister Crowley.
Aleister Crowley.
Yeah? So everything goes backwards. That's why Michael Jackson walked backwards, done the moonwalk backwards. Bow, as you can see in the word there, is ball. The Taurus ball. Bow. You'll see Bow sometimes devouring a child. Or you see Bow with a baby in his arms. He's not hurting the child. He's telling you to stay childlike. Be childlike, not childish. And that's the story that is telling you.
Because I think what people are doing is they're getting it confused because that's the god. Is that to do with Egypt?
Bow, yeah, bow. It's everything. Because
yeah.
it's bow, it's ball.
But I think they're confusing that with like Bastion.
It's ball because here it's ball, and you also have the Tor. Tor. Actor, solicitor. What's all this Tor? Because it's the Taurus field. Ball, bow, ball. Then you have the bell tower, the bell tor, which is on the churches. You see it all there. All churches are astrotheology. This is why they have the big stained glass round window. Count the spaces, you'll see 12. But then you might see 64. If you look at the sun, if you can stare at the sun, do a bit of sun gazing, it won't hurt you, it won't blind you. That's just for profit. Yeah, it's good for you. But don't do it too often if the sun is in Cancer in the summer, straight off, because you will damage your eyes. You have to do it gradually. Oh, I forgot where I was. Because I'll veer off.
The sun.
The sun. What was I talking about the sun? Because the sun is everything on the ecliptic. So, this is the symbol for Earth, by the way. Can you see Tom? There's your T.
Yeah.
There's your O. And there's your M, which is McDonald's. It's all in the symbol of McDonald's. It's telling you, because all is Atum.
Tom, yeah.
You'll see it everywhere. You've got Thomas. Yeah? Because Thomas is the twin.
Of the sun.
All is Atum.
Yeah.
So the cross, they're telling you. And that's how all that works. So keep on looking for these at the end of words. Ball, bow, bill. Remember, everything's interchangeable. There you have bill. So bill is the bell, which is the ball, which is the Taurus ball.
Balance.
Balance, you can go any word. Any word will take you back to ball, tor, that then will take you back
to Atum.
To that word there. Because everything is that word on the sinusoidal wave that goes around the constellations. Sorry about the state of my drawings. Right, that's about it. Let's have a look at the sun and how the sun works. A lot of people believe that the sun gives off light.
That's what I was going to...
The sun doesn't give off light, even though it is the light of the world. Thank you, darlings. Even though the sun is the light of the world.
We're going to talk about perturbation now.
And I'll talk about perturbation.
This is epic.
I haven't got my glasses.
Shall I write down those 3 words? Dialectic, magnetism and electric. We're going to need that.
What was we talking about now?
The sun not emitting...
Oh, yeah. No.
No?
No.
Right.
I'll just go
Okay.
through it. Oh, thank you, Joe. What's that, a question?
Yeah,
Yeah.
question.
What is it?
Does someone want to read it out?
Let me have a look.
Thank you, Johnny.
Which is the butchers?
And I'll answer that and then I'll move on.
Why in the Bible did they call Egypt the house of bondage?
Whoa, that's a very good question. I'll ponder that one for a while. But Egypt, there's no such place as Egypt originally. Egypt is chem. This is how you get chemistry, alchemy. It was only the Greeks that named Egypt, Egypt. Also in Egypt, there's a place called Heliopolis, meaning the city of the sun. Within that city was a place called On. This is why you switch the light on. Because Heliopolis is the city of the sun. And there's just another bit I just threw in.
Alistair Crowley called himself the Beast, and he used to the sign of 666.
Absolutely. Big Satanism. All Satanism.
Let me do this.
All Satanism. So I want to talk about the sun.
Honestly.
The sun,
How's it yell?
we all believe, gives off heat and light. It doesn't. Do you remember when I showed you this at the beginning? And I showed you it in the water? Basically what it's creating is a perturbation. So basically if I was in a big swimming pool and I was in the middle of that swimming pool, the water's at rest. I'm just treading water. So what I'm doing is I'm creating this perturbation. I'm not actually reaching out and touching the sides. So I'm creating a perturbation, going this way, this way, this way, and this way. Remember the dialectic and magnetism. So I create this when I'm treading water, and this is how the sun works. What it does, it creates what they call a coaxial circuit. That coaxial circuit is made up of hydrogen and oxygen. So when this perturbation takes place, it creates... Sorry, I'll get there in a second. You just walked past me. And
Sorry.
That's all right, don't be sorry. It creates this perturbation. So the hydrogen and oxygen, which is in the air, creates a coaxial circuit. A light bulb does not give off light. We all believe it does. But if you look at a light bulb, it's in a vacuum. It's vacuum sealed. Sometimes there's a little bit of neon gas in there. When you switch the light on, what you do is you cause a disturbance within the oxygen and the hydrogen. It does this. The ether. The electromagnetic field. Yeah? So if you look, the best way to describe what Earth is a giant electromagnet. The moon is an anode. The sun is a cathode. That's where you get the word Catholic, cathedral. And that's exactly how it works. The best way to look at it is do an analogy of an electric guitar. You have seven strings. 7 is matter. The 7th letter of the alphabet is G. This is why you will see that on the Masonic symbols. The compass and the set square. Means geometry, but it is also the 7th letter of the alphabet from A. Not only that, it is also the 33rd letter of the alphabet. Because once you get to Z, which is 26, A becomes 27, so on and so forth. So G becomes 33.
So is that why you've got 33rd degree free?
That's how you get 33
Right.
degree Masons, and this is how you get 32 degree
go through the
Masons.
alphabet, do they?
Because if you look at the sun, I've not measured this myself, so I can't confirm it, but a lot of people have measured the sun with sextants and other instruments, and they say that the sun is actually goes from 32 miles wide to 33 miles wide. Everything comes back to astrotheology. Everything. You'll see it. You'll also see this symbol. Right, you'll also see this on houses. It's everywhere. Even your owner house has this. If I can show you, it will make more sense. You'll see that brickwork over your front door. Yeah, sorry about how bad that is. Yeah. Aries, Libra. Yeah. This will be your constellations between that spring, summer period. Yeah. And then your doors here, innit? All window frames, you'll see it in churches, because that is exactly what it is telling you. Also in churches, if you go into a church, look out for this. In Greek it's yes, Jesus, Jesus. But this is also a corporate logo. The corporation is the 501c3 corporate church. In other words, put some money in the box, the roof is falling down. We need more funds. Israel.
Yes.
Isis Ra El. Let's have a look at that as Tracy's just written it up there. I know this is all a bit quick and a bit of a mishmash, but as long as you get the basics idea, please do your own research, because if you don't, you're only taking my
I'm going
word.
to write up there as well, so that people can look if they haven't heard of him. He's Santos.
Bonacci. As I said in the beginning of this presentation, if you want this more in depth, please look up this man. An
As
absolute.
above, so below. We're not.
You can write up there all his Atum presentation. Look at all of Santos's work, and it will explain everything I've explained to you, but in more depth,
That's him.
with a better presentation. Also, I'd like you to check out this man.
Ken Wheeler.
Ken Wheeler. Probably the greatest man, in my opinion, of the 20th century. Whatever century we're in, which is a lie anyway.
But we won't go there.
But we won't go there. Right, in this presentation, a bit like dinosaurs. Ken Wheeler is the first man
Dinosaurs.
in history to show you magnetism in real time. Yeah? When you take a bar magnet, you've got the North and the South Pole. It can't be split. So if you cut that up, that bar magnet up, like a piece of salami, does the poles move? No. It's not how it works. A magnet does not attract another magnet. Doesn't attract another piece of metal. What is basically happening is this magnet and this, should we say, this little bit of steel, you think that magnet is pulling it away. What that little bit of steel wants to do, it wants to get back here to the null point. Yeah?
Stillness and rest.
To the stillness and rest. That's all that wants to do. It wants to get there. But what's stopping it? Well, nothing's stopping it. It just needs to get back there. Back to the plane of inertia. The null points of stillness and rest. So what that piece of metal is doing, it's saturating the dialectic. These black lines. So when a magnet pulls a piece of metal towards it, all it's doing is saturating the dialectic, because that piece of metal wants to get back to that point there. You can look at a ring magnet. Yeah?
Notifications off.
And it has a very small hole in the middle of the ring magnet. The smaller the hole, the more powerful the magnet, because it's the spatial distance. So a bigger spatial distance, people go and buy a magnet that looks like that and think it's more powerful. It's the opposite way round. But please check out the work of Ken Wheeler if you can understand him. He can be very, very complicated, and a lot of people call it word salad.
Is that kind of explaining gravity, the magnetic poles?
Well, no, with gravity is not a force. It's not a pressure. There's nothing pushing on anything. Yeah? Gravity has no matter and it has no properties. Yeah? So it doesn't act upon anything. It's just a way of explaining mass, acceleration at a distance to
A non-specific point, is it?
the non-specific point.
That's gravity.
And that is gravity. People will argue with you, oh yeah, gravity pulls things together, attracts things. So if you look into space, and NASA's rubbish, why hasn't one planet crashed into the other? If we're 14 billion years old, so they say, everything's 14 billion, 13 odd billion years old, don't you think the sun, if it was at 93,000 miles, which it isn't, in my opinion, it's no more than 60 miles away. It is as exactly as you see
93 million miles, they say it is.
93 million miles. The corpuscular rays proves that it's not. Please look up corpuscular rays and you'll see exactly what I mean, without me going into it. I speak Japanese as well. Or is that Chinese? I don't know.
The firmament, Gaz. The firmament.
The
holds
firmament.
it all in. No?
The firmament holds it all in. The crystalline sea. Yeah? This is Earth. You have 7 realms above and 7 realms below. These in Hinduism are called the lokas, or the lokas. Yeah? They're colours.
I was going to say, the rainbow.
They're 7 visible colours of the rainbow. This is what you call the prima mater. Sorry, the prima mobile. The highest form, which is Saturn. Saturn is the highest form of light. Yeah? Until we run down all the 7 visible planets. Below us are 7 other realms. We're here. What an awful drawing. Isn't it just terrible? I do apologise. I really do apologise.
Do you want me to draw it?
Yeah, please, Trace. If you can draw a circle, a line, and then 7 doings. Yeah?
So are you saying that Saturn is not like a lot of religions, that they walk around the cube,
Yes.
they walk round and round and round it, and people regard certain truth seekers regard Saturn as being
Satan.
a Satan.
Yeah, well,
But the way you're presenting it as though Saturn is the highest of the high. Like
Saturn is the highest of the highest.
So has it been inverted? Are you saying it's been inverted?
No.
Through the religions, some of the religions?
No, not at all. Saturn is, as I said, Saturn is the great inhibitor. He's the black planet. He's the grim reaper that comes and knocks on your door the day you die.
It's like the London
Because he
Underground
rules
sign.
the winter, because he's the great inhibitor.
The London Underground, isn't it?
He
Symbol.
inhibits growth, because he kills everything.
Right.
Yeah, nothing grows, as you can see, until we get to Aries, which is the spring equinox
So,
again.
you're saying Saturn is the high point of the planets.
Yes,
But
it's the most powerful.
It's the most powerful, but not in a good way or bad way. Or it doesn't really. There is no good or bad in this.
Well, it has
It
good.
just has a purpose.
Yeah, it has good energies and it has bad energies.
Right,
So
okay.
if you look at Saturn, Saturn has a consort. That consort is called Rhea, Freya, Maria. Another name for Saturn is also Seth, S-E-P-H, S-E-T-H. So you put a Joe in front of there, you get Joseph. Who's Joseph? Well, Joseph is the legitimate father of Jesus. Rhea, the consort of Saturn, the feminine energy of Saturn, is Rhea, which is Freya, which is Friday. This is why you get Black Friday sales. Every Black's Law, Black's Medical Dictionary, it's all to do with Saturn.
Which is the atom again.
So Jesus,
All linked.
who's Jesus' parents? Well, it's Mary, Mother Mary, Maria, Rhea. So Jesus was created through Saturn, same word. There's your connection. But Saturn also has good, because you have to have death to have growth.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Is that all right?
Yeah, that'll do. I need like a half circle there and then a bigger circle around that. You know that thing you sent me yesterday? Do you remember? If you look at the atom, remember the picture of the atom?
Oh, the hourglass.
Yeah, picture's still there.
You got the hourglass.
So, no, I want that little bit there,
Mm-hmm.
and then I want another circle around
What
it.
circle?
Yeah, so a smaller circle, that'll do it, and then a bigger one. And I'll borrow this as well, because here I will put this thing here. It's not very good.
So where's magnetic north? Right.
Yeah. So, sorry, this is meant to be a tree. This is Jacob's ladder. This is the stairway to heaven. This is Mount Meru. True north. Total true north. Yeah? In Hindu cosmology, in the Vedic system, we live here. This is a place called Bhumandala. Don't ask me to spell it. It can be a bugger to spell, especially when you come from South East London.
What did you say that was again?
Bhumandala, the land of Bhumandala, which is in the land.
That's what I was getting at, yeah. But
Which, sorry, I've made a mistake there. Let's get that out. This is Bhumandala, in the land of jabbered wheat. This is all Vedic cosmology. These are the 7 lockers, the underworld. These are low energy frequencies, vibrations. This is where all your psychopath MPs come from. Your paedophiles. Low vibration energy. Up here is higher vibration energy. Yeah? So you have the 7 lookers, the 7 colours of the rainbow. The rainbow is called the bark of Ra. They call it the bark of Ra. Who's Ra? Well, Ra, the Egyptian sun god.
which is the Israel.
Which is
IS, and then
Ra.
the EL is the electric.
L.
Yeah.
Isis, the sun god Ra,
Electric.
which creates the elephant. This is why in Hindu cosmology, elephants hold up the world. Go and take a look. Because L is electricity. They're telling you, it's all there. This is the Father, the Son,
The Holy Spirit.
and the Holy Spirit. This is Shiva from the Hindu scriptures.
Is it the moon, the sun, and Saturn? Are they the Trinity as well?
Yeah, they're all a trinity. Everything's a trinity of 3,
Which is the A,
which is the A,
which is non-splittable.
which is non-splittable.
Right.
which is the neutron, the proton, the electric. The dielectric, magnetism, electricity.
So
Wow.
then trying to split the atom at the moment, you're
Yeah.
saying the atom is non-splittable.
It's non-splittable.
But that's what they are trying to do at the moment. Is that because they're playing with
You can't split
God's
an atom.
laws or
Yeah,
God's
you can't. You
laws or-
can't split an atom because if
But they say they have split the atom.
Yeah, they have.
well,
They have.
it's all bullshit. This is CERN
You're
crap.
saying that's not true.
They
No.
just play with vibrations.
Right, you've got CERN.
Keep
What
my
does
vibrations
CERN
low
do?
all the time.
They bump atoms together, don't they? To
No one really knows what CERN is doing. Let's
Right.
face it.
There's no such thing as particles.
No, I know.
There's not. Particles do not exist. We
just
don't
what
live
was-
in a particle wave energy. We live in a pulse wave energy, magnetism, longitudinal energy. Yeah. This also goes for photons. People believe photons exist.
So the letter A is non-splittable.
The letter A is
But
non-splittable.
what is, in your eyes, what is A then? If it's not if it's not
Well,
an
A.
A is
Right, let's have a look at it this way.
The beginning.
Let's have a look at it this way.
or is A the word?
A is the word. A is the one. A is everything. It's
So is
got
that
to
the
be.
stillness? Is that absolute
I am.
stillness where everything comes from?
Well, there's the stillness, the spirit.
Right. Okay.
Yeah. So that would be, as I said, stillness, magnetism. Oh, sorry, magnetism.
Magnetism,
The other way
electron,
around, yeah.
which is your atom.
Which is your atom.
Yeah.
So if you remove the nucleus from an atom, or you remove the dielectric from the atom, you've got no atom.
No, because there's no.
Because there's no
No.
this right. People believe when a bomb goes off, let's say that's a bomb. People believe this is the energy. If you look at the word energy, energy is an anagram of green. Because the earth is energy.
Greeny.
Don't forget the Y is silent.
Yeah.
People believe that this is the energy. No. The energy comes from one single point. That tiny little point of plane of inertia. Yeah? That's where all your energy is. That is your bomb blast. This is just an effect
That's a disturbance.
of a disturbance within the ether.
Ether. Yeah.
If you look at the word ether, split it around,
So
you get,
again, it comes from stillness and
yeah,
rest.
you get an anagram of the earth.
From the dialectic.
Yeah, the weather. You'll see ether in the word
Weather.
weather. It's all there because everything.
And earth is an anagram of ether,
Yeah,
isn't it?
yeah.
Yeah.
So,
So are you?
sorry, go on, go on.
Are you saying in the stillness everything exists? But,
Everything comes from stillness and rest.
So everything's capable within that stillness. So that is potential. It's pure potential.
Absolutely.
And the letter A is that pure potential where everything's broken comes from.
From.
Comes from.
And it's us disturbing within that ether is what
Yes.
gives us the product or what we see or reality, what we
Yeah.
envision.
Right.
And how do you feel about the hologram side of this fitting? Do you believe in the hologram?
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Okay, so how does...
If you get a
Sorry if I'm going on... a
No,
tangent.
no.
No, that's all right.
If
no.
you get a perfect hologram, you know holograms are made up of the same picture.
Yeah, a bit like a magnet. You can keep cutting a magnet
You
and,
keep
and
cut- yeah.
the poles keep shifting along where the magnets
Well, they
are.
won't-
Within
They
a
don't
hologram, you can
Well,
keep cutting
yeah,
it.
I mean, north and south will not change on a bar magnet.
No.
As I said, if you slice it up like
You get it again,
salami,
you'll get it again,
you're
you'll
not
get
going
it
to move those.
No.
So at the moment, they're all going on. You'll see it on Facebook. The poles are shifting. And what do they show this with? A cartoon Earth. Let's be honest. We live in cartoon world. There is no separation in nature whatsoever. I am that. I am. I am that I am. I am that I am. I am that I am. None of the dogs are here. I could have picked up a dog and gone, I am that I am. Let's look at that word. I am. I am is the Lamb. The Lamb of God. This is how you get the diorama. Everything's the Lamb. Remember the palm? The lamp?
So when you talk about Easter, that's why it's the lamb.
Easter is the Lamb. Because of the cherry blossom is pure white. So when the cherry blossom is out,
The cherry blossom tree.
which is in spring, That is when, that's why it's the lamb, because it's pure white. Absolute pure white. So everything actually comes from stillness and rest. Like you, like I, we all come from stillness and rest. The sperm was at rest, the egg was at rest, until there was a disturbance within the two. With meteorites, same thing with meteorites and asteroids. People all believe they're solid objects. Absolutely ridiculous. What they are is a burst of energy, just like electricity. Electricity doesn't come out of the ground, doesn't come out of the earth, and it doesn't come out of the sky. It's a disturbance within the stillness and rest of oxygen and hydrogen. Same when I speak. I'm not actually emitting any sound. What I'm actually doing is disturbing the medium of oxygen and hydrogen, and then you pick it up via your ears. That's all that is. Your speakers do not emit any sound. It's just a frequency, energy and vibration. As Tesla said, light is just a disturbance within the ether, within the stillness and rest. But one word Tesla actually got wrong there was the word in. It's not within the ether, it is the ether.
The rate of induction?
Rate of induction. Boom, 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 boom. Perturbation. Rate of induction. So how fast that is moving. There is no speed of light. As I said, it's just a disturbance, a perturbation within the medium. If you like to take the speed of light at 186,000, whatever it is, miles an hour a second.
Miles per second.
And you do, miles per second, isn't it? Yeah. And you do the calculations of that, and you use numerology, you'll find it all to come out at this beautiful number of 33.
Which they've inverted.
Which they've inverted, which they have inverted to make it sound evil. There is nothing within a Masonic lodge that is evil at all. Also in the Masonic lodge, you will see these two characters.
So what is evil then? But for people that are, there's probably going to be a lot of questions about
What's evil? Evil is winter. Evil is now, night.
So when you talk about the seven things that were under here, and you talked about your MPs and your paedophiles and all that, that's because they're under us.
They have all that under frequency.
The negative frequency.
The negative frequency.
Right, got you.
This is why they're psychopaths.
Right.
So with the Masons,
yes, mate,
and the 33 degrees and all the Masonic lodges, obviously what you're saying is that everything within it you're saying is good, but they've inverted it. So
yeah,
they're using goodness, but they're using it by switching it round and using that then against us. But then are they using that because they want to carry on staying evil by switching it?
Control.
I mean, what would be the point of them wanting to be evil? They must know ultimately.
I don't think they actually know what they're doing, John. No, I don't. They're not of the same frequency. Let's have a look at. Let's have a look at this. You get ice, water,
explain that one.
and steam.
All the same. It's all the same.
Yeah. People believe that this is separate, this is separate.
Just different states.
You can see a trinity there again, can't you?
Yeah.
Yeah? So basically, they're all the same. They're all water.
Different vibrations.
They're in different states of modality. They're just vibrating at a different energy. And this is the same with... I'm not talking all Masons. I'm talking people like... I can't think of his bloody name now. No, it doesn't matter. I'll get there in a second.
Aleister Crowley?
No, well,
I was thinking him.
Not Aleister Crowley. Come on, big guy with the beard. Come on, help me out, people.
Oscar Wilde.
No, not Oscar Wilde. I'll think of it in a
Santa
minute.
Christmas.
Father Christmas.
Big guy with a beard.
I'll think of it in a minute. I'll think of it in a minute. It will come to me, his name. He was a grand wizard. So if that's any help to his name.
Merlin.
No, not bloody Merlin. Merlin's fictitious.
Feasible.
But what did Merlin do? He produced magnetism, magic.
Magic.
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Because it's all in the words. It's all in the words. What was that guy called? I'll think of it in a minute. Sorry, it's gone. But he was a grand wizard.
So what do you think their ultimate goal, I might be coming off the subject a bit here, but what do you think the ultimate goal of the globalists, the satanic...
To keep us all under control. To keep us in fear.
Mm-hmm.
But there is no
even
fear.
though they must know that they are
They're trying to stop us
evil
ascending.
personified, aren't
They're
they?
trying to stop
at
our
the end of the
ascension.
day.
A certain...
I mean, or is it
Right.
just
Well,
we are just playing out a whole game here?
Right,
We're here for the ride,
Right.
and we need them to know how good we are.
Of course.
So it's all
Of
one
course,
big
I'm-
game.
I mean, to
without
be
them,
honest-
we couldn't know what
Right.
goodness is.
Exactly, Johnny.
Because
Yeah.
we are in a polarity.
I'm
reality,
glad
aren't we?
I'm glad what's going on in the world is going on in the world. Now,
We
people...
need it to know who we
People-
are. So
people
they are
believe
playing. They
I-
are
I'm
in a way.
evil
They
by
are
saying
playing out.
that, yeah.
They are in a way. They are playing their role, and we are playing our role. We need them to know who we are,
Exactly.
and
You've got to have-
ultimately
you've got
they're
to have-
going to need us to know who they
If you
are.
don't have good, you can't have bad.
But it's a
And
strange,
I'm
it's a
glad.
strange old
I'm
game.
glad. I'm glad they've ruled for 2,600 years, from the Venetian Canaanites, or 2,400 years, when all this crap started. Yeah, I'm glad, because if you didn't have bad, you wouldn't have good. And at the moment, because we've entered into the time of Aquarius, and we roughly got on the cusp of that in about 2012, in my opinion. That's when it started to enter. It's getting stronger and stronger and stronger as it goes. More people are waking up. We're becoming more together. Separation. Because what they've had to do, they've had to separate us. So the Muslim and the Christian want to fight.
Yeah.
The Jew wants to fight with the Christian and the Muslim.
I mean,
But in fact, there's only one religion, because
That's
all
the
the
right one.
religions are telling you the
Oh,
same
yeah, that's right.
story.
from what I've researched, the fall of man was when man come to a point of believing that we are not part of the whole.
Yeah.
It's when we thought that we were separated, and that was the fall of man. Before that, we knew we was all one.
Absolutely.
We was all two.
Absolutely,
We was all
yes.
part of the whole. And the fall of man was when, in the Bible, they say the snake came down and tempted Eve with the apple. Well, that was to know that we know the difference between good and evil ourselves to become gods. That was a form of separatism.
Yeah.
And the fall of man was when we believed us to be separate to the whole, and that's the fall of man. But we're working our way back by people playing their roles. So the bad, what we see as the bad, the evil, is in a way playing their role out, so that we eventually arrive to the point of knowing that we are all actually one.
Yeah.
And one is stillness, and from stillness
Comes everything.
comes everything.
Yeah.
So we need to go back to that stillness, which is why when you meditate,
You go
need to
back.
yeah.
The more still you can keep your mind. I don't have chatter in my head. Recently, I went through a personal situation, and that personal situation destroyed me, because from the moment I slept, from the moment I woke up, I had chatter. Where prior to that situation in my life, I live still. I don't have chatter. This, when you don't have this chatter in your head, you don't have that fight between the left-hand hemisphere and the right-hand hemisphere. In other words, you're going out tomorrow and you've already decided what colour shoes you're going to wear with that dress or those jeans. Just as you get dressed, you look in the mirror and you go, I should have wore the red ones, not the blue ones.
Right.
That's your left and right hemisphere, your logic and your consciousness. Stay with your consciousness. Stay with your first decision. Because the little devil, the little red devil, will appear on the shoulder and go, no, it should be red shoes, don't wear blue with that dress. And this happens in every day of our lives. We all go through this. We all go through this. Go with your natural instincts, go with your gut feeling, go with your heart. When you say things off by heart, because you store them in your heart. That's why you say things off by heart. You don't store them here.
It's beautiful.
Yeah, it is.
It's
I like
beautiful.
that. That's a great interpretation.
Because you do, you store it in your heart. That's why you say things off by heart.
I think in a way words are a curse, because by having words you label things. But
Well, that's
if
what
there
you
was
said,
no
thought.
words, if there was absolutely no words at all, you could only respond to things from the heart.
Yeah, absolutely.
The actions wouldn't come from thought. Reactions would come from a being, a sense of being.
So
How
you have-
you feel at any
yeah.
one time without starting to label why am I doing this and in second guessing yourself.
But then heart again is an anagram of earth. Again,
Heart,
ether.
as Tracy said, heart again is an anagram of earth. Because it's the electromagnetic that creates it all. Because the planets themselves, it's not gravity that's holding them up there, because what goes up must come down, especially if it contains mass. The planets and all the little luminaries, the stars, are levitating.
Can we talk about bumblebees in a minute?
We can talk about bumblebees. I don't know what I'm going to talk about.
Can I just butt in?
You can do whatever you like, Johnny.
Some people say that the firmament and the stars that shine through the firmament are actually pinholes in the firmament. And
I'd say
above the
that.
firmament there is a light, there is a
they say
whole
they're
light
fuel
where you've got like little tears
Yeah.
or whatever in how do you see that? Do you see the stars as
I
being
see them as portals,
portals?
but that's I can't confirm that.
No.
And all the time
It's
they're lying.
it's
their
like
nose is going.
the shape of the Earth. Okay, we all know it's not a bloody spinning ball hurtling through space at 4 different motions at 4 different speeds that we can't even comprehend. But what is the shape of the Earth? I haven't got a clue. Who has? Who has ever seen it in its entirety?
How do you say cartoons?
Yeah.
Just cartoons.
So who says there's an edge? I'm not going to get into the flat Earth. Not interested. Yeah, that's a totally different story. Let's have a look at some planets. Let's have a look at the largest of all. Let's look at Jupiter.
And that was under the. For anyone that looked in the sky last night, underneath the moon, there was a bright white light, and that was Jupiter, and it was quite visible last night.
Oh, the moon last night was in its first quarter. Here was Jupiter. And if you looked and you saw that last night, you would have seen this push
Yeah.
fraction and rarefaction going on between these two. They were pulling against each other. Not because of magnetic pull, because of vibratory energy between the two. So the energy last night, I noticed I stood in the garden, took a deep breath, cleared my brain, and I could actually feel those energies. And we can all do it.
I was on the phone to you at the time.
He was on the phone to me at the time.
So do you believe the moon and the stars are plasma?
Yeah, well, they're just lights in the sky.
They're not lumps of rocks as
Then there's no lumps of rocks.
Because if you look at the planets through a telescope, they look like plasma, don't they?
Yeah, it was very easy to fool.
vibrating.
Yes, it was very easy to fool the human race, because you look up and you do see the moon, and it looks like it's solid, and it looks like it's a ball, but it isn't. It's just a disc.
It's a disc, yeah.
It's a disc.
You don't believe it's to be a sphere, obviously.
No, there's no other
It's just
side.
literally it's a disc.
It's a disc. It's a hole. It's a portal.
What about the dark
It's
side
a
of the moon?
reflection of. Is it? That's why you only see one side of the moon.
No, because it's not lit up yet. How do you get a new moon?
No, I mean the pattern on it is
Right, hang on,
always the
let's have a
same.
look at
isn't it?
this. Look at this. What's a new moon? And what's a new pair of shoes? They're brand new. So every 53.9 days, a new moon is created.
Right. So that's definitely not a rock then.
So on a new moon, there's no moon. Where's it gone? Where's it gone? Can't see it. Because it hasn't been created yet.
How do you feel about people? A lot of people say that the moon is a negative of the Earth, of the world, or not the world.
A mirror
People
image.
say
A
the
mirror
mirror.
image.
No.
You don't believe that at all.
No, I don't believe that at all.
Okay.
Right,
I think
that's interesting.
that's just another bit of truth or rubbish.
Right.
And then, to be honest with you, in my opinion, 80% that goes out on Facebook is absolutely rubbish. And
That's what we need
and
to
I'll
learn.
even stand here and say that about chemtrails. They exist. We've all seen them. But have we tested them? During the Second World War, the British was using pieces of aluminium and barium to deflect German radar. So a plane today taking off from Johannesburg and landing in Amsterdam does its journey. Why doesn't it land in England by mistake? I've been told that chemtrails were seen 20 years ago in the sky. Every season, that grass is perfectly green. Autumn was a little bit late this year because we had a tremendous 90 degrees. And I don't mean in temperature because, as I said, the constellations of summer is 90 degrees, 30 degrees each. Yeah? Cancer, Leo, Virgo.
So what do you mean by chemtrails? You don't believe
I'm not
that's a bad
saying
thing?
chemtrails don't exist, but I think personally what is happening is for the good.
So I've heard this. I have heard this.
Because we are heading for 1,000 years of beautiful peace because of Aquarius behind the sun.
So who would be doing the good thing? In your eyes, you're saying chemtrails are a good thing.
Good number.
Yeah, it's a theory.
And
What I'm doing is I'm looking at the other side of the edge.
yeah. So all I'm thinking is, who would be doing good?
Then, put it this way, the way I see it is people want to take down the government. It's not the government you need to take down. The government are ruled by the church, the Vatican, the VAT. Yeah? That came from Venetia, because Venetia was on the water. Where did the Vatican go after that? It went to Venice, which is on the water, so you have the maritime admiralty law.
Why is it during the day it looks like a rock?
What, the moon?
Yeah.
Well, because you've been told it is a rock. And I know that might sound a bit silly, but from a very early age, it's drummed into you with cartoon pictures, men landing on the moon. So it becomes very conscious.
So I've got a question then. If it's a brand new moon, every 53, whatever you said, days.
Yeah, was it 59.3? I have to look at the book.
How comes it's born with the same pattern on it? You know, when you look at the moon, you've got the man on
right.
the
You've got the dark spots and you've got the light spots.
Yeah, but they're always the same, are they not?
Always the same. Why? Because it's the dialectic.
Same again then.
Same
so
again.
the dialectic.
It comes back to the dialectic.
Stillness and rest.
Stillness
so it's
and
always
rest.
so it is going to be the same.
Well, I suppose it looks like us. We renew our cells. Our whole body renews itself after so many years, but you always look like you, don't you? The
Yes.
cells, your face always looks the same. Even
Well, your
though
cells die
your
every
cells
day.
Are, yeah, even
So-
though you're dying every so many years, all your cells get replenished, but you still look like the same person. So the moon, I'm just going along with the way Gary's seeing it. So if it renews itself,
Oh shit, that's hot, hun.
That was hot. I didn't realise you made me that one.
so it
I did tell you.
it would have a blueprint that it would
Sorry,
replicate each time.
Sorry, John.
I'll say it would be like a blueprint that would replicate each time.
Yeah. Yeah. Why is it called a blueprint? It's electricity. Right. What I'll do here, we just go through this one. Going back to the alphabet. The two most important letters in the alphabet are these two letters. The L and the R. This is red shift. This is blue shift. See the L? This is the rhotic, and this is the lateral. Here in England, we speak laterally, but a Russian will speak rotary. Yeah? A Scotsman will speak rotary. He won't speak laterally. A Chinaman will say fried rice, where we would say fried rice. The L and the R are interchangeable. The red shift and the blue shift of the torus ball. And it all comes back to the atom. All comes back to that. Let me do one more thing, because I've got a bar of dark chocolate over there and it's going to come over here and eat me.
I was just looking at that.
No, don't you even look at it.
Well, no, I wasn't
No,
going to look at it. I was going to bring it over to
Don't you dare look at it, so I'll have you under section 24A. In other words, I will make a citizen arrest on your person.
Did you talk more about the 5,000 years of peace coming?
The
Or
1,000 years of peace.
We've entered it now.
We're starting to enter the 1,000 years
Yeah,
of peace.
and the do no harm.
When it comes, I don't know. This whole
That's
system,
reassuring.
Well, the whole system is falling down day by day. People have stopped paying for things.
Yeah, that's
Council
true.
tax, they're realising that everything is fraud. This then raises people's consciousness. When the consciousness is raised, you then raise the Christos, the oil, the DMT.
Which is why we
And
need
the
everybody
serotonin.
to see, because it's going to be the more energy or frequency is going to be higher.
So, have we been lied to about practically everything we...
Yeah, of course you can. Those upstairs.
Yes. If I was to say,
The system,
if
every
I,
system lies.
yeah, everything is a lie or a twist.
On the system.
If I was
by
to
the system.
say that England was man-made, you'd all think I'm absolutely crazy. Go and have a look at the White Cliffs of Dover. When you look at the White Cliffs of Dover, it's all block work. There is no straight lines in nature. So who built these? Yeah.
You can see it everywhere.
Right, I'm going to look at this one because this one is interesting. You've got man, because man is the man with the hand, who has the DNA. So the man with the hand and the DNA. This is represented by the number 5. 5 fingers, 5 parts of the body, head, 2 hands, 2 legs. So man is number 5. Because he is the man with the hand, with the DNA, which can be Andrew. So Andrew is the man with the DNA. It's all in the letters and the words. You can go, this tissue's doing well.
Oh, there's a cloth there.
No, I don't want to know your cloth. You stick your cloth.
The chocolate's there and all.
Oh, is it? Oh, don't stop that.
Could you explain the back of your T-shirt to the guys, because they've been looking at.
I don't know if people can read that on the back of my
Yeah.
T-shirt.
All is a term, excuse me, I'm eating. Man, know thyself, and you will know the universe and all its gods. We are the microcosm of the whole universe. We are the universe. We are learning that we are co-creations in this experience. We are really in just a great time in history to be living. Love that.
Ain't that the truth, Gav?
It is the truth,
There's
yeah.
the truth.
All is a term.
Because all is Atum. Because all comes from the atom. I can go into numerology. I can go into numbers. How can I put it?
We was
Fox-
looking at Fox earlier, wasn't we? Fox is 666.
Yeah, we can look at Fox, and we can look at this in Chaldean numerology, or we can look at this in Pythagorean numerology. You'll see that it comes out at 666. I could take, where's my little book? Because I can never remember all these by heart.
So is this similar to gematria?
This is gematria, yeah. Chaldean is the oldest of all systems.
So you've got Pythagoras and Chaldean.
Yeah. As Plato said, if you want to know how the world works, look in terms of numbers and symbols. So if I remove
And who was
this.
Plato for people watching?
Plato was a Neoplatonist. Probably, in my opinion, one of the greatest philosophers that's ever walked the earth. Macrobius, Plotinus, and the list goes on. I need glasses because I'm really old, people, even though I look really young.
Do you want me to write anything? Or you're all
Nah,
right?
you're all right. Unless you want to do it neater.
What do you want? This?
Copy that out for me. One's Pythagorean. Don't bother with the Chaldean, just do it in Pythagorean. This is numerology, people, and this is, if you want to know how the world works, as I said, look in terms of numbers. As for quantum, forget quantum. Nature knows nothing of mathematics. Quantum is just mainly bean counting. Thus, Einstein was no more than a mathematician. He was not a scientist. He didn't own a lab and never wore a lab coat. In fact, the theory of relativity was stolen from a Frenchman called Henri Poincaré.
Yeah, Henri Poincaré.
So if you want to look that up, you'll find Einstein stole that work.
So this is Pythagorean.
And this is Pythagorean numerology. Thank you. Right, that's right. If you look at this, these are your numbers. It only goes 1 to 9. You have certain letters under each number, as you can see. So if you look at Fox, F-O-X, comes out at 666. If you put the Simpsons into this,
Bigger than the dog.
you'll get 33. You put Donald Trump into it, you'll probably get 33 again. This is how the world works. In Pythagorean numerology or Chaldean numerology.
So you saying his name's not Donald Trump?
Donald Trump is a corporate name as far as I'm concerned.
Right, okay.
Because who's seen the birth
What about
certificate?
Boris Johnson? What is that?
Boris Johnson again is a corporate name. Matt Hancock, Matt Dazalam. Can you see how they're taking the piss? And you get Matt
that's why
Dazalam.
they've been able to change it, of course.
Madazalam. Can you see
Lamb.
it again?
Yeah.
It's in the word again. The Lamb of God. Madazalam. Yeah? So it's all there. It's all there. Stick some names. Stick some celebrity names into this.
What's
Yeah.
God? Let's start with God.
Let's start,
G-O-D.
all right, let's start with God. Let's just wipe that bottom bit off.
That'll be a 7, a 6.
7.
So
And a
what does it say if it
Seven,
adds
six,
up to
four.
Add it
a
up.
number which isn't 666 or 33? what does that actually
Seven.
tell,
Well,
tell
depending-
you?
Yeah, what numbers come out?
Yeah, but what does that
One,
number
seven.
represent? I mean,
Well,
what does
yeah,
666
1, 7 is 8,
represent?
and then
What does
8 is
33
yeah.
represent? Because everything's an
And that
inversion.
is God.
Well,
So-
33 would be enlightenment, obviously.
Yeah, it is. We worked it
666 will be the darkness, the devil, the evil, the black nobility's ways. You interpret it as you wish. Yeah, it's just a guide. It's just a guide. You said God. You said God, didn't
Yes.
Yeah, we've worked it out to be the infinity, the 8,
Oh,
because
you? Yeah,
so
exactly.
add it up together, and then 7 and 1 is the 8.
Yeah, and the 4. Sorry, what did I
It
get
comes
that
to
from?
That's a
17.
6. That should
Comes
be
to
a,
Adds up
17.
to 17, then 1 and 7 is 8, which is your infinite sign,
There you go.
which is,
Which is the analema.
right?
If you know what the analema is. If you look at the analema is the path of the sun. It's the path the sun takes.
Is that the ecliptic? No, it's different.
Oh, God, that's not a very good one. That's not a very good one. I should have got it up on the screen. But it looks like a letter 8. If you do a letter 8, it looks like that. That's the path of the sun. This part is winter. It's bigger. This part is summer. Just the same as you see the cross. Spring, summer, autumn.
I mean, how did they work all this? How did they work all this out? When you think about it,
Oh, it's so clever.
it is more than clever.
Oh, of course it
It's
is.
crazy.
And this is what they hid from us. See, this is what the Freemasons do, the Illuminati. But what you've got to remember is Freemasons and the Illuminati are just little puppet foot soldiers. Like Trump, like Biden, like Boris. They're all controlled by the higher entities, the ninth circle of the satanic cult.
Right, which you believe are.
Which come all from, I could do the tree of this if people want to see it.
Yeah, that'd be great.
Let me just get my book. Sorry.
Get your glasses.
Yeah, they're not very good, those glasses.
Do you want me to clean them for you?
You can clean them. I need a little screwdriver. Oh no, I need them now, so don't worry. You're alright, as long as I can see what I'm doing here. Right, we'll start off here with the Jesuits. We now have a Jesuit Pope. He's what they call an Orsini.
Yeah. So is this the white Pope? Because you've got three, haven't you?
Yeah, at the moment they're all Orsinis.
Right, okay.
Because they're a bloodline family.
Yeah.
There's 13 of them. So we start off with those. I draw a little box around there so we get a little family tree. We've now here got the Vatican. Because this is where it all comes from. The Vatican. Venetian. Canon law. It's all there, Venetia. Here, coming off of here, we have the papal bull. Of the knighthood. This is the Vatican office, the VO. Here, you have the ninth circle. Yeah, the ninth circle of the satanic cult. Yeah, just put a C there. Cult means to reveal, by the way. Here, you have the Illuminati, the enlightened ones. Yeah, I can see it now. I wish I went to school. I'll just put ill for the Illuminati. Sorry, this is the... Oh, bollocks, made a mistake. Excuse my language. This is the Sicilian Mafia. From the Sicilian Mafia, you have the Scottish Rite. The Freemasons. Yeah? The Scottish Rite of 33-degree Freemasonry.
So...
And down here, you have the lowest of the lowest, which is the Illuminati.
Yeah, see, a lot of people think the Illuminati are at the top.
No, Illuminati are at the bottom of this
They're actually
pyramid.
at the bottom.
Yeah. Here's the Vatican, here's the Jesuits. Here's all the bits that come off it, here's the bits that come off it. We're down here, Illuminati are up here, Freemasons, and you can do that.
Is it not true that most of it comes from Italy, from like Rome?
I thought
A lot of it goes through Rome.
All comes from Rome.
All roads lead to Rome. So
Yeah.
I mean, a lot of it. So where does Rome fit in with the Jesuits and the,
Because it
on
all
that?
comes from Venetia. Venetia was on the...
So what's before Jesuits then? Because you've got Jesuits at the top. Is there?
That's a good question. I can't answer that at the moment.
all right.
I'll get there in a minute. And if I know it by the end, I'll tell you.
Okay.
It will just have to click.
But you can only go to a...
Because it all goes from the bloodlines.
It all comes from the bloodline. My name is...
Yeah, Grexy, I'm Reynolds.
Because obviously a lot of these channels are
I'm
not all of
half
them are
Reynolds.
bad, but there's a bloodline
If
that
you go
runs
back
through
to
it,
Atum,
which
must
are
have-
overseeing it all.
Yeah, yeah,
You know.
absolutely. So what we had in 1302, we had a lovely chap called Pope Boniface
Pontifex.
the Eighth. Pope Boniface the Eighth created the first express trust called Unum Sanctum.
Sanctum. Yeah.
Within Unum Sanctum, he created Romanus Pontifex. in 1455. This took everyone's property and took everyone's wealth. In 1481, they created Attorney Regus that gave title Mr., Mrs., Reverend Doctor. In 15...
Because there wasn't surnames, was there?
No, there was no... This is why there was no surnames. That's all Nordic.
And what does sir mean? Is it slave I remain?
Sir means servant.
Servant.
Why is it a servant? Because it's serious. Yes, sir.
So what's madam then? The atom? Madam
Madam is the atom.
Right.
You see, it's all
Yeah,
in the
yeah.
twist of the words. So in 15, I think that says... Yeah, I can't remember these dates. I should have rehearsed this. 31, they created convocation. Convocation to your soul. They've done all this on a papal bull. And that's not paper, that's a papal. A papal bull. All this, the express trust, unum sanctum, was written on the backs of kids. And I don't mean baby goats, I mean small children. It was tattooed on their backs, dried and skinned, screwed up, cursed, and put in the Vatican vaults, and they're still there, and that's why we live today in a papacy and not a digital world.
I.e. your birth.
In other words, your birth certificate. Everything comes on paper. You know, so if you get a court fine or anything like that, and it comes on a laptop or a tablet, no good. We live in a papacy, in a papal bull. Yeah. When you look at, if you go and do some research on Pope Boniface VIII, you see he wears a triple crown because it is a triune. Convocation, Attorney Regus, and Romanus Pontifex. Give me a question.
I'm just amazed at how you remember. I mean, it's a lot to sink in. And
That's why, yeah, it is.
I'm there with it. But
And fall off the carpet. Any questions there, Jay?
What does woman mean? Is it womb of a man?
Yeah, womb of a man. Yeah, womb of a man. Because all is Atum. So look at the word. Woman. A woman.
I was going to say woman, omen,
It's all the same.
men.
Okay, it has become divisible there, but as I say, I don't spell too well. Even something as simple as that. There you can see again.
The
We got Om,
yeah.
which is the Hindu chant. The Egyptian chant is On.
There's moon. M-O-O-N.
There, you got moon. You got moon in there. 'Cause it's all the same thing. It's all about words. If you was to chant as the Egyptians, you can't say the letter M without closing your lips. So you seal it. Same with the Hindu. That's the Hindu chant. That is the Egyptian chant, because you had Heliopolis, as I said earlier, which is the city of On, which is the city of light. That's why you turn a light switch on. Yeah? If you go on, you'll see your tongue will hit the roof of your mouth, so you're closing that vibration. On and on, and you will see this in most words like home, comb. You can go on and on and on.
And what does that chant do by making that?
You create a vibration.
A vibration,
Is
yeah.
it the vibration of what we call universe? Or
What we call the universe.
the actual
Yeah.
vibration.
Yeah. Yeah.
Is that what they're saying is the background noise of the radiation?
Yes. If you listen,
Is basically God speaking himself. It's the vibration of all reality.
yeah, electrical vibration, disturbance of the ether.
Nice one, Johnny.
So, a good question. Yeah, I was going to say something else about that. You'll see this in every word because it all means light. Because it's still Tom.
Yeah, so it's still, yeah.
It's still Tom. No
Which
matter
is-
how you like it, because it all comes back to a Tom. Adam,
which is the sun's.
which
what
is
did
all
you say?
light.
But these words that we call Adam and Atom, I mean, atom's a recent word, obviously, that we derived probably
Yeah,
from the word Adam.
nature knows nothing about
But the
atoms.
original language, the original written word of, if you want to go back to the Bible,
Would be Adam.
is what would they have said? What would have come from their lips to say that Adam? Would it actually be Atom? Would they have actually said Atum, or would they have said something different? And we
Yeah, that's a
changed
good
it.
point. Good point. I can't answer that one.
No.
I'm afraid.
That's a good thought.
That's a great question, John, because it leads to thought.
Because did they speak then?
No. We didn't need to communicate years ago.
No.
I have a very close friend, Rowan, who knows this stuff. All we ever do is speak theology.
Yeah.
We have
so
nothing.
can you explain then from astrology, Adam, Eve, and the rib, and the bite of the poison apple, and all
Yeah, it all comes
that?
back
to
Atum.
Atum.
It all comes back
Yeah.
to Atum. It can't go anywhere else.
No.
Because Atum is the original word. All is Atum.
Yeah, I think
Are
so.
we done? Are we close?
Honestly, that was amazing, hun.
Come full circle, Gav. You come full circle, man.
Thank you very much indeed. Thank you very much, people, for being patient, putting up with me.
No, you've been amazing.
If there's anything I got incorrect there with dates, or you know anything different, please contact me. We all need correcting sometimes. I'll direct you back to Santos Bonacci if you want this whole astrotheology
I'll write that back up.
to
there again
absolute
for you, shall I?
perfect. If you want to know about atoms, magnetism, look into Ken Wheeler, because all I am is a parrot who's been at this a long time. Some of it I got totally wrong.
The strange thing about Santos Bonacci is that he was a Jehovah's Witness, wasn't he?
So he's got. I'm not.
And I nearly was a Jehovah's Witness,
Right.
Because I nearly got.
Yeah. I'm not a big
baptised
Bible
into
studier,
it,
but
and
when
something in me made me feel it wasn't right.
yeah,
And it's strange that Santos Bonacci sort of walked a very similar
What is it?
life, but yeah, I think he actually did become a Jehovah's Witness. And
oh,
then
he was one for most of his
yeah.
life.
It's
and then he
1843.
come to a realisation that
Yeah.
the whole truth ain't there.
I mean, to be honest with you tonight, I'm hoping that Santos actually doesn't see this video because he'll rip me to pieces.
But
Oh, I see.
you got the gist of it, you got the most of it going. And that's
All
the
your
main thing.
Bible,
it's-
all
it's
your
a
Bible
screenplay.
studies, all your Bible, your Bhagavad Gita, your Shiram Bhagavatam, your Matarasa Bhaja, all these books. What's the Jewish book? The Torah.
Oh, this book you
The
might
Torah.
want to
Yeah,
explain
I
this book.
want to promote this book.
Yeah.
Who's that by?
It's by the Reverend Robert Taylor. It's called The Devil's Pulpit. What Reverend Taylor is talking about here, and this is probably one of the greatest books from the Bible that I've ever read. This talks about astrotheology.
I need to read
It's
that.
all about astrotheology, the path of the sun, who Jesus is, and everything I have said today. So what you want to do is you don't go down to the Devil's Pulpit and listen to the Reverend Robert Taylor because he is talking astrotheology. In other words, you walk into a church, say this is astrotheology, they'll throw you out. Because this is what the church don't want you to know. That Jesus is just the name for the sun on the side or sawn or wave.
I mean, a lot of the reverends and vicars, they wouldn't know this anyway. They believe
No,
that
he did. He
Yeah,
did.
he
He used
come
to
to
go down to a
realisation.
place called the Rotunda. The Rotunda was at Blackfriars. So don't go down to the Rotunda, which is the Devil's Pulpit, because the Reverend Robert Taylor is speaking astrotheology. If you can get a copy of this book on Amazon, please get it. It can be a hard read, but just keep in mind that it's talking about Jesus, Jesus, Jupiter Zeus on the sun. All our names come from astrotheology. My name's Gary. Yeah? So Gary is an anagram. Let's have a look here. I'll just do this quickly, sorry. My name's Gary. I was born on the spring equinox. Mars is the ruler of Aries. I couldn't have been called anything else but Gary. The Y in Gary is silent. The G becomes an M.
Mars.
Mars is my ruler, so my parents couldn't have called me anything else but Gary. And you'll even see the word Gary probably mentioned 9 or 10 times in the Bible. Thank you very much.
Thank you,
Well done,
Gary.
mate.
Thank
Well
you.
done.
It's been a
Take
pleasure.
care,
Thank
guys.
you.
Thanks for joining in. Right.
Thank you, Tracy.
Oh, no.
Thank you, honey. Thank you for...
Thank you. That was amazing. Thanks, guys. Take care, everyone.
How long?